Have you ever stopped to wonder why so many men end up feeling unfulfilled and directionless in their relationships? Here's a truth most avoid. The rules of attraction aren't what we've been told. Often, it's because critical truths about women and how relationships actually work are realized far too late. In this video, we're diving into 6 uncomfortable truths about the dynamics between men and women. These are powerful lessons that can shift the way you approach relationships and even how you see yourself. From the impact of physical appearance to the power of emotional discipline, these insights will break through illusions and help you evolve into a high-value man. If you're ready to challenge your assumptions and grow, then let's begin this journey. First truth: chasing never leads to success. What if the very act of chasing someone is what pushes them away? Many men cling to the belief that relentless pursuit will eventually win a woman's affection. But psychology tells a different story, one rooted in the principle of scarcity. When something is too easily available, its perceived value plummets. And this concept applies directly to romantic dynamics. Seeking constant attention or validation often signals desperation rather than dedication. Think of a man who's always instantly responsive, drops everything to reply to texts, or cancels important commitments to be available. While it may appear thoughtful, it often communicates a lack of boundaries and self-worth. It's the same reason clearance items draw attention briefly, but fail to inspire long-term desire. Convenience cheapens perception. A high-value man doesn't chase, he attracts. His actions stem from a sense of internal abundance, and his self-worth isn't dependent on external validation. Take Marcus Aurelius, for example. Even amid great trials, he remained grounded and confident. His value wasn't determined by the approval of others, it was anchored within. Modern psychological studies reinforce this. When something appears rare or hard to attain, its appeal naturally increases. In relationships, a man who prioritizes his own ambitions sends a powerful message. He's not seeking approval. This independence fosters both respect and attraction. The real shift begins when a man stops chasing and instead channels that energy into personal growth. By investing in himself, he becomes more desirable and lays the groundwork for a relationship built on mutual value and respect. Second truth: money and status speak louder than you think. Have you ever noticed how some men command attention without even saying a word? Often that silent power comes from money and status, but not in the way you might think. While wealth and status are frequently viewed as direct magnets of attraction, their real influence lies in what they symbolize: stability, ambition, and capability. Money itself isn't inherently attractive. It's the way a man handles his resources that reveals strength, discipline, and direction. From an evolutionary standpoint, women tend to seek partners who provide a sense of security, not just financially but emotionally and mentally. This desire for safety extends far beyond a high bank balance. It's about having a steady grip on one's life, a vision for the future, and the resilience to navigate uncertainty. Picture a man wearing a luxury watch while drowning in debt. The surface might sparkle, but beneath it, the absence of financial responsibility quickly becomes evident. Now contrast that with a man who lives modestly, yet maintains smart investments and follows a strategic plan for growth. That man radiates long-term thinking, self-control, and maturity, traits that spark genuine admiration. True status isn't about showing off, it's about self-mastery. High-value men invest in personal growth, continuously sharpening their knowledge and skills to add long-term value. They understand that the true strength of wealth lies in the opportunities it creates, not in empty displays. By focusing on education, health, and meaningful relationships, a man builds a reputation that's deeply rooted and unshakable. Those who channel their time and money into long-term goals exhibit drive and resilience, qualities that naturally attract respect. And real status, it doesn't shout. It shows up through character, purpose, and quiet confidence. It's not about telling impressive stories or flashing material success. It's about standing firmly in who you are and what you bring to the table. As you pursue financial stability, remember, the ultimate aim isn't just to grow wealth, but to build a life that reflects your values, vision, and inner strength. That's what truly attracts high-quality partners and fortifies your own self-worth. Third truth: your appearance says more than you realize. Ever wondered why people form such strong opinions about you before you even speak? The answer lies in how first impressions are shaped, often within seconds, and your appearance plays a central role in that process. Research consistently shows that we assess someone's competence, reliability, and even potential for success largely based on how they present themselves visually. But appearance isn't just about looking attractive. It's a mirror reflecting discipline, self-care, and self-respect. Picture a man who consistently works out, keeps his hair cut neat, and dresses appropriately for the setting. He's not just enhancing his looks, he's signaling that he takes himself seriously and is aligned with success. Even seemingly minor details, a well-fitted blazer, polished shoes, or a tidy beard, carry weight. These elements quietly communicate that you are intentional, responsible, and attentive to the finer aspects of life. Appearance, of course, isn't limited to fashion or physique. Cleanliness, posture, grooming habits, and how you maintain eye contact during a conversation all leave a lasting mark. Men who prioritize self-maintenance send a powerful message. They are confident, aware, and in control. These traits are naturally attractive. From a biological standpoint, a well-groomed appearance indicates that a man is capable of caring for himself, providing a sense of dependability and emotional security to those around him. But this isn't just about standing out in a crowd. Presenting yourself well reflects a deeper understanding that every area of life benefits when you show up with purpose and pride. Still, it's important to remember, appearance is only the opening chapter. While it may capture attention, it's your values, behavior, and emotional depth that keep people engaged and connected. The most compelling men balance outer presentation with inner strength. A strong physical presence paired with emotional intelligence, grounded values, and a clear sense of purpose creates a dynamic and lasting impression. So yes, take the time to refine your appearance. Build an exercise routine. Update your wardrobe. Maintain good hygiene. But don't stop there. Develop your mindset, expand your knowledge, and grow in self-awareness. This powerful combination of outer polish and inner depth is what truly sets a man apart. Fourth, truth. Being too good can be a costly mistake. Have you ever tried being the perfect gentleman only to feel overlooked or disrespected? This is the trap many fall into. The belief that always being agreeable, overly kind, and constantly available will earn love and validation. While kindness is undoubtedly a strength, when it lacks boundaries or authenticity, it can be mistaken for weakness. The key is distinguishing real kindness from people-pleasing. Authentic kindness stems from personal values and integrity. In contrast, submissive behavior often hides a fear of rejection or a craving for approval. Think of a man who never voices his opinions, constantly rearranges his schedule for others, and avoids any form of disagreement. At first glance, he might seem like an ideal partner, but over time, this overly accommodating nature leads to a loss of respect. Why does this happen? because consistently placing others above yourself signals that you don't prioritize your own needs or identity. Just like a friend who agrees with everything you say, initially pleasant, but eventually you begin to question their sincerity and your respect fades. Kindness attracts, but it's strength that commands respect. The ability to set boundaries is a powerful expression of self-worth. A man who can confidently say no when necessary isn't being difficult. He's demonstrating that he honors his own values. Men who constantly cave to avoid conflict lose authenticity and the respect that comes with it. Setting boundaries doesn't mean being harsh. It means being clear about what you stand for. For instance, a high-value man may be thoughtful and generous, but he won't compromise his principles just to win approval. This balance of compassion and conviction is what truly impresses. There's a critical difference between kindness rooted in confidence and kindness used as a tactic for acceptance. When a man is kind simply to be liked, it reveals emotional dependency, which often drives others away. But when he's kind because it reflects his core values, it signals depth and sincerity. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect, and that respect is built on a foundation of both empathy and firmness. Men who combine warmth with unwavering character create meaningful, lasting connections. Those who rely solely on being nice often become predictable, overlooked, and eventually dismissed. Fifth truth: weakness destroys desire. Have you ever wondered why some men lose a woman's interest even when they seem emotionally open? It's because weakness, not vulnerability, but unchecked fragility, is one of the most powerful destroyers of desire. It signals instability, lack of direction, and an inability to handle life's inevitable challenges. But what exactly is weakness? It's the habit of folding under pressure, surrendering to setbacks, and letting negative emotions dictate behavior. True strength isn't about being emotionless. It's about managing emotions with control and clarity. While healthy sensitivity can be admirable, constant emotional volatility communicates insecurity. And insecurity erodes respect, one of the foundations of attraction. Women are naturally drawn to men who display resilience, those who navigate life's storms with calm determination and inner stability. Consider a man who loses his job. If he responds by reassessing his options, building a new plan, and taking decisive action, he exhibits strength and capability. Contrast this with someone who sinks into prolonged self-pity and inactivity. This behavior signals a lack of internal foundation, making him less likely to be seen as a dependable partner. Mental and emotional strength isn't something you're simply born with. It's developed through consistent effort. Studying Stoic philosophy, for example, can offer powerful lessons on how to face life with courage, reason, and inner peace. Practices like meditation help sharpen mental focus, allowing you to remain composed even in high-stress moments. Facing life's challenges head-on is one of the fastest ways to build resilience. From waking up early to train your body, to receiving criticism without becoming defensive, every small victory strengthens your character. Now let's be clear, strength isn't about denying your weaknesses. In fact, recognizing your limitations and actively working to grow from them takes real courage. A man who learns from failure, adapts, and rises again becomes not only self-respecting, but also deeply inspiring to others. Sustainable relationships require more than charm. They need emotional consistency, patience, and the ability to endure difficulties without crumbling. A resilient man becomes a symbol of reliability and safety, qualities that are deeply attractive and essential for long-term connection. Being strong doesn't mean you never stumble. It means you get up every time with greater wisdom and determination. Picture Picture a man who abandons his dreams the moment things get tough. What does that say about how he'll handle a relationship during hard times? Now, envision a man who pushes through setbacks, learns from his missteps, and keeps moving forward. That man radiates strength, and with it, true desirability. Sixth and final truth. Men who lack emotional control lose trust. Have you ever met someone whose mood swings made everyone around them feel uneasy? That's the silent damage emotional instability can cause, and why it becomes a deal breaker in relationships. Emotions are part of being human, but how we handle them defines how others experience us. There's a significant difference between emotional openness and emotional unpredictability. Sharing your feelings in the right context can foster intimacy, but losing control, acting impulsively, or lashing out creates fear, not connection. Men who fail to manage their emotional responses often come across as erratic, which chips away at the trust and sense of safety that women instinctively look for in a partner. Finding this balance starts with emotional intelligence. It means being aware of your own emotional patterns, understanding how your reactions affect others, and choosing thoughtful responses instead of impulsive ones. Picture two men experiencing a setback at work. One blows up in frustration, blaming colleagues and acting out. The other takes a breath, assesses the situation calmly, and responds with intention. The difference is night and day. The first causes tension and anxiety. The second earns respect and instills confidence. Building emotional strength begins with self-awareness. You must identify what triggers your strongest reactions and train yourself to respond from a place of composure. Tools like mindfulness, journaling, and seeking honest feedback from people you trust are incredibly helpful in this process. Equally important is learning how to express emotions in a grounded and constructive way. For instance, saying, "I'm frustrated this didn't turn out as planned, but I'm working on a solution," shows both vulnerability and leadership. It communicates honesty while maintaining emotional control. The truth is, emotional steadiness is deeply attractive. Women are drawn to men who offer a sense of calm, not because they're emotionless, but because they can remain grounded in both joyful and difficult moments. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or becoming detached. On the contrary, it means learning to regulate your emotions with intention so they become a bridge for connection instead of a barrier. A man who can remain composed under pressure sends a message of strength, maturity, and self-trust. These are the qualities that spark not only attraction, but enduring respect. High-value men understand that well-managed vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Sharing your inner world at the right time shows depth and courage. But lack of control, it's often perceived as emotional immaturity, and it repels trust. So the goal isn't to shut down your emotions, it's to master them. When used wisely, your emotions become tools for deeper connection, clearer communication, and more meaningful relationships. That brings us to the end of these 6 powerful truths, realities that many men realize only after it's too late. But you now have the opportunity to use this knowledge to reshape your relationships, your self-perception, and your entire path forward. Now the real question is, will you take what you've learned today and start showing up as a high-value man? Let us know in the comments which of these truths hit you the hardest. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.